baby. Oh baby. This was something. This was something indeed. Let's go ahead and start off with Jay versus Gunther. A lot of people are mad about, a lot of people were talking bad about this match. They definitely ain't talking about this match anymore, though. Jay versus Gunther, to me, let me make this clear from the beginning. This was a really good technical match. Really good technical match. Was it the greatest? No, not by any means. Gunther, Ilya Dragunov, Gunther, Zack Sabre, Gunther, Will Ospreay, Gunther, Bryan Danielson. All these matches, much better. But this is a pretty good technical match between Jey Uso and Gunther. Here's the issue, though. Who the hell asked for a technical match between Jey Uso and Gunther? I did not need to see Jey Uso go out there and work the body of Gunther. I did not need to, I needed to see it, but not in the way that he started trying to do it at times, working the body and like the legs and the arms and all that. I'm like, Jey Uso, what are we doing here, bro? You're not Gunther. Just, wrestle your way. I don't need IWC wrestling. Like, no. Jey Uso, no matter if you look like prime Will Ospreay or prime Christopher Daniels or prime Kenny Omega, was anybody gonna think that Jey Uso is a much better wrestler? No. I don't know why it was a thing. It needed to be a whole lot different. This match, to me, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of... I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for the storytelling because I felt like you know what? I'll give it a 2 out of 5. A 2 out of 5 for the storytelling. 2.5. There we go. Be a little fair. Because Jey Uso was telling a story in this match. Gunther was a guy that was just not going to work with the super kicks, not going to work with all the little, that weird little uppercut he does with his like dancing and all that. It wasn't going to work. He came out real just... real ready to go, not yeeting and all that stuff. He had like a little mini yeet for a second, but he was real serious. And then when he gets to the match, he's working the body a lot of spears, frog splashes, a lot of hits to the body because he had in mind to hit that submission on Gunther, make him tap out real quick. Made a lot of sense because you're working the body. So obviously, if your torso area has been hit a lot, you're going to be gassed. So when someone puts you in a chokehold, you're gonna want to tap out immediately. Makes a lot of sense. Gunther and Jay did not have a great payoff. They should have been going outside of the ring with it. They should have been throwing each other into the steel steps, going into the crowd, going through the tables, going through the barricades, all that stuff. I don't need to see a bloody match. I just need to see a lot of this. And that didn't happen in this match. It did not align with the story at all. But if we're going to be honest, this story has never aligned with the story at all either. It's supposed to be 10 weeks of hell, and it just never was. It was Gunther playing like some mind games that clearly we didn't even think of the mind games until about 4 or 5 weeks in. So, yeah, no, this match I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. It just was not it for me. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it wasn't bad. A 2.5 out of 5. That's like barely above average. Well, no, that's like average. It was an average match. So, yeah, no, I think that WWE was just listening to the IWC way too much with this match. And I wish they would have listened to the IWC with this next match because the New Day versus the War Raiders was awful. Look, awful WrestleMania match. I want to make myself clear on that. This match did not need to be on WrestleMania at all. We had a SmackDown Tag Team TLC match lined up with DIY, MCMG, and the Street Profits, one of your best indie tag teams in MCMG, one of your best NXT tag teams, and carrying a lot of storylines last year in DIY, and one of your best tag teams in WWE and the Street Profits, and you said, no, we're not going to do that. Mind you, again, in a TLC match, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to do New Day versus the War Raiders in a Clash of Clans advertisement match, because that's exactly what this was. This match was just to promote Clash of Clans. That's all. And it was stupid. The ending was stupid. I liked the New Day winning. Kofi Kingston was booking it out of there like as if they wasn't really supposed to win. So it kind of added more into that whole little thing of them cheating. So I did like that. That's why I gave it a 1 out of 5, because I was ready to give it a 0 out of 5, because you had no Big E showing up and you could say expectations were too high. You got too delusional. You thought something was going to happen that wasn't going to happen. Well, then why the hell was this match on Mania if nothing big was going to happen? There was no build-up for this match by any means. They showed a whole package. It was literally just a New Day turning heel for 95% of it. Then you showed last week's, last Monday's match where the War Raiders hit the New Day with a chair. dude, there was no buildup at all. This match was stupid. It did not need to be on WrestleMania. It should have been on the Monday before. It should have been on this past Monday. I don't know why it wasn't. Yeah, no, this match sucked. We could have had Chelsea Green being here against Zelina Vega. I would have took that. At least it had more story and it was a bit better match than this. Yeah, no, I'm giving this match a 1 out of 5. It was really, really dumb and did not need to be here at all. And I'm sorry to say this, but maybe this next match shouldn't have been at WrestleMania either. Jade versus Naomi. I don't know why this wasn't a street fight. I don't know why it wasn't a last woman standing, falls count anywhere, ambulance match, something like that. Once again, another match similar to Jay and Gunther where you had this blood feud going in and it did not even live up to the blood feud hype. Now, I'm assuming that we're going to get more Jade and Naomi. Great. First match at WrestleMania could have been, some kind of stipulation, especially if if Drew and Damien have a stipulation on theirs. Their feud's probably done. We're probably going to get Drew going after Jey Uso. Cool. But I don't like it. We could have done something more with this. I mean, hell, CM Punk had a whole special guest referee match against Drew McIntyre for his first match. We couldn't do something like that for this. I understand that Bianca was already in the match. I would have loved to have seen Bianca Belair be the special guest referee for this match and then also have a match on night 2. That would have been really cool. Would have had like a whole lot more storyline going into her match against Rhea and Io Sky. So I don't know why we didn't do that there. We had that match right there. They did nothing with this match, and it felt like you gave this super big storyline to these two women and then had no real payoff because you just had a whatever match. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5, though, because at least they performed well in the match. I just didn't like the payoff. It felt like it was just lacking so much, in my opinion. So, I'm giving this 3 out of 5. Shout out to Jade, though. Looked like an absolute monster. I do really wish that Naomi looked a lot better in this match because we made her a heel and she didn't really use much heel tactics. This is why I wish we would have done a bit more in this match as well. We could have even had like the ref get distracted and then Naomi grabs like a chair or a kendo stick, or she throws her into like, chairs, or she tried to like trap her underneath the freaking thing on the ring. I forgot what it's called. The tarp on the ring. We could have had her like, trap her underneath like the ring or something like that. We could have had a way where Naomi won and Jade still looked strong, but we did not do that. I don't really know what we have going forward now. I don't really know, especially because I guess let's just go ahead and I'll get it. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So Tiffany versus Charlotte. This match was before Roman Seth Punk, but I do just want to talk about it because it makes so much sense to lead into this match because Tiffany versus Charlotte. Good God, this was a stiff-ass match, man. Oh, my goodness. There is definitely hate between these two women. You cannot tell me there's not. And for all the folks that say, like, oh, well, why can't 2 women have a stiff match or 2 men have a stiff match? Every men's stiff match, I believe that these fools hate each other as well. I really do. So it's like, Tiffany and Charlotte definitely had some hate between each other. There was a moment where Charlotte was going for like a spear or going for something like a shoulder tackle into the corner, and usually they step out of the way real early. Tiffany stepped super late to the point where Charlotte hit her face. Then there was a moment where Charlotte had tweaked her knee. It was very clear that the ref was that this was probably not a part of the whole storyline because usually the refs will get involved in it and step in between the women or step in between the men or whatever. And the ref didn't step in between, and then Tiffany started going for her knee a lot, and these knee shots looked like they were a bit brutal to the point where Charlotte was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick your teeth in," because she kicked Tiffany Stratton square in the mouth. My God. And then Charlotte was just not selling that knee injury. I'm going to be real with you, man. So I think she might have just tweaked it a little bit. And then, or I think she I don't know, either A, she didn't tweak it at all. And the ref was like, what's going on here? They're not actually a storyline. They're actually a storyline. I don't know what they to do here. Or B, she tweaked it, but the adrenaline kicked in and she just was like, I'm not selling this at all, Tiffany. I'm about to just squash you at this point. I don't know. These two women definitely have a lot of hate for each other. I don't know what it is. Tiffany Stratton did get the win, though. Didn't really care for it, to be honest, because this match right here showed that Tiffany and Charlotte are just nowhere near each other at all. Charlotte was leading this match, and Tiffany was just not able to keep up. There were so many times where you could see that Charlotte had to slow down for Tiffany, and I think look at, man, I'm going to say it right now. My theory that Charlotte Flair just does not like that Tiffany is getting the push she's getting right now because Tiffany is not ready for it it feels like it's starting to be more and more true because my goodness, man, Tiffany Stratton was not able to keep up at all. And we're going to continue with this woman being the WWE Women's Champion. Who's her next feud going to be? Because you had Naomi lose, so we can't do Naomi versus Tiffany. But I'm going to be real with you, we probably don't need to do Naomi versus Tiffany ever again because we did that last time and Naomi had to slow down so much with Tiffany as well, and it didn't look good. So it's like, what are you going to do? Because Jade won. You're not telling me that we're doing Jade versus Tiffany. Neither woman can lead the match. In the Naomi and Jade match, when they had Jade try leading it in the beginning, it was super dang slow. And then when Naomi started leading it, it looked a bit better. Jade and Tiffany cannot lead, so they cannot have a match with each other unless you have someone else in the match to lead. But are we just going to keep doing this until we, just take the belt off of Tiffany so we can put it onto somebody else? I mean, sure. But I don't know what the heck you do next for Tiffany. I'm going to be honest with you. I see no possible direction. We're not doing Meechin. We're not doing B-Fab. We're not doing Chelsea Green because she already has a belt. Probably not going to do Alba Fire because WWE is not going to push Alba Fire. Probably won't be Piper Niven's at either because, again, Alba and Piper also doesn't make sense because Chelsea has the Women's United States Championship. Why would you want to be under, why would you want your underlings to go after a higher belt than yours? Doesn't really make sense. I could see Chelsea going after her, but unless we're using TNA or Lucha Underground Chelsea, we're not going to be able to have Chelsea lead this match at all because Chelsea also in WWE world can't lead a match. So, yeah, no, I don't really know, but I will say this. Overall, the Tiffany Charlotte match was a 3 out of 5 for me. I thought it was just another average match. It wasn't anything great by any means. But I did like the whole little story being told with it, like with these women trying to, say one trying to be the other one trying to be the other. They're dressing just alike. I love the fact that Michael Cole kept calling them different names because of the fact that like they're wearing the exact same outfits. I did like Tiffany's entrance as well. I thought it was really cool. But after the Jade and Naomi match was LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. And I got to say it, man, you know what? Kudos to you, Jacob Fatu. That was me clapping. Kudos to you, Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Y'all actually went out there and put on arguably one of the better matches of the night. Up until this point, it's probably the best match of the night. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. LA Knight did not do much in this, but he kind of just did like Trick Williams and did like the bare minimum. And Jacob Fatu just went out there and looked like an absolute monster. I was surprised that we didn't have Solo Sikoa go out there with him. I'm surprised that we didn't have Solo Sikoa get involved at any point in the match. Obviously, Tama Tonga is injured. So I don't know what's really going to be happening with the Bloodline going forward. I'm kind of worried for them a bit because it seemed like all their members are just kind of getting injured. We don't know when the hell anybody is going to come back. But I do like this for Jacob Fatu. He got the United States Championship, and he just put on an absolute show. I think he showed the hell out at Wrestlemania, and a lot of eyes are going to be on this guy now, man. So I really think that the U.S. title is going to be a lot more prestigious. I feel like this is going to be probably one of its biggest runs since Austin Theory, and before that, probably since John Cena. Good God, man. The U.S. title has been slapped in the face, man. But at least we don't have any part-timers holding this belt anymore, so that's a great thing. Not calling LA Knight a part-timer, by the way. I'm calling Logan Paul a part-timer. But after this match, though, we had El Grande Americano versus Rey Fénix. I hate this. Well, look, hold on. 4.5 out of 5 match. So dang amazing. It didn't get to hit its second gear the fullest, though. It hit it for a split second, and then it just kind of went into the end. I hate this, though, because this should have been Dragon Lee. This is such a slap in the face to this man who has been involved with the storyline since day one, and we continue to say, no, Dragon Lee, you're not going to be in matches. You had an opportunity last year, but we had to put Andrade because he was a big AEW signing, so we want to slap AEW in the face. This year, we got Rey Fénix and said, hey, you know what, AEW, we're going to slap you in the face once again, and we're not going to use our talent, and it's so dang annoying to me. I understand that Rey Fénix is a dog, man. I know he is. We all know the man is one of the best luchadors on the planet right now, but Dragon Lee is a dog too, and WWE will not allow this guy to be shown off. At this point, this guy just got to leave. He got to leave if he want to actually get shown off, man, because what the hell, dude? What the hell is up with WWE and their hate for Dragon Lee? What did this man do to somebody? My goodness, did he slap someone, baby? Did he kick a grandma? Is he going 09 Randy Orton? Like, what the heck is going on? This guy deserved this match, and he did not get it, and it's so stupid. But at least El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix went out there and had a 4.5 star out of 5-star match. I'm only giving the 0.5 because it should have been Dragon Lee, and also it did feel like it was a bit quick. Actually, I'm gonna be real with you. Most of these WrestleMania matches felt like they were a lot quicker than they really should have been, and I just don't understand why that was the case. Night 1 made a bit more sense with the main event being so dang long, but Night 2 definitely did not make any sense at all. But overall, though, I really did love the heck out of this match. It was probably my favorite match of the night, just in terms of like the match itself and the story at least paying off a bit. I do feel like El Grande did need this win because he was going to get the win either way, whether it's against Rey Fenix, Dragon Lee, or Rey Mysterio. So yeah, maybe that's the reason why they went to Rey Fenix, because it was Rey to Rey. I don't know, man. But this main event though. Let's talk about this one, man, because Ash told y'all. I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell y'all that man, Mr. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shout out to my dog, Seth Rollins, man. The new Paul Heyman guy. I try to tell y'all, it made so much sense. Look at the way Roman was treating that man. Like, I want that man to get slapped up on by the new bloodline 24/7 and get put through a table. And what did Roman do? Not come back. He was nowhere to be found. He wasn't even talking to Paul Heyman. And then what did CM Punk do? He allowed Seth Rollins to be in the ring with his best friend. He allowed Seth Rollins to put his hands on his best friend. It took about 4 or 5 slaps and then a push just to get CM Punk to actually come out there and help Seth Rollins, but then he couldn't even get the job done because Seth Rollins hit a curb stomp on him. Also, shout out to Seth Rollins and CM Punk for hitting the meanest of curb stomps and GTSs on that man, MAGA Reigns. Man, I'm so glad for that. But no, this match overall was probably, in terms of like story and all that stuff, I'm going to also probably give a 4.5 out of 5. I just don't like the story leading into it was the only issue. That's why I like El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix a lot more, just because the story was a lot better. Well, like, at least it was a bit better storyline going into it. Not a lot better by any means. But I really, really did love this main event overall. This is probably one of my favorite main events that I've seen as a fan of WWE. This main event, just from start to finish, was so dang good. You had Seth Rollins come out, arguably had the greatest entrance of all dang time as well, by the way. Coming out with the fireproof jacket, with the flamethrower, with the burn it down and all that stuff. Then the lights go off, new outfit, all white. Oh my God, Seth Rollins is the best dressed in WWE. Then you got Roman Reigns coming out with the black on white. I thought it was okay. I'm not really a fan of white J's. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those basically were white J's. I'm not really a fan of white shoes in general, though. I never really just got into it. I prefer black shoes or like black and white shoes. White shoes to me just stand out a bit too much, and it kind of like overpowers the outfit a bit. I don't really like that, so that's why I never wear like white shoes. Even like white. Well, I'm wearing a white tee, but even like white tees kind of like, you know, overpower outfits, but like if there's like a little bit of color on it, doesn't overpower it as much. And then CM Punk coming out with living color, coming out with the yellow trunks and all that, obviously, and the gray sweater, you know, a nod to when he was a Paul Heyman guy. I really did like that. Living color did their thing as well. Sounded absolutely amazing. Then the match was just, it was just poetry in motion the entire time, man. It was so dang good. Yes, CM Punk and Seth Rollins going into the crowd. And I'm going to be real with you. That trash can shot to Seth Rollins, to CM Punk, I think Seth Rollins has been waiting to do that. He has been waiting to hit this man with something because he hit him in the head with it. He hit him hard as hell in the head with it too. Oh my gosh, man. Like, all these shots look personal. Like, the power bomb that Roman Reigns, no. The smack that Roman did to Seth Rollins, and then the power bomb to Seth and to Punk. My God, dude. Like, bro, this was a stiff mania. This was a stiff mania out here, man. Oh my goodness. Everybody got beef with each other. And then the curve stomps just looked like absolutely vicious too. Like, everything just looked vicious in this match. Seth Rollins was doing his thing from start to finish. I feel like CM Punk definitely did slow down at times. Obviously, he's a bit older, so it makes sense. But overall, everybody just looked absolutely amazing. And then the end sequence with Paul Heyman, you know, hitting the low blow on CM Punk, giving the chair to Roman. He allowed Roman to get some hits in on CM Punk. I ain't really like that, to be honest. But, you know, it didn't make sense because then he went to, because Paul Heyman started telling him to go to Seth Rollins. And then Roman starts getting ready to go for the chair to the back. But then Paul Heyman hits him as well with the low blow and started kind of wiggling as well. I don't know what he was trying to do. He's probably trying to touch his tribal chiefs, you know. I don't really know what Paul Heyman freaky ass was doing. But then he gives Seth Rollins the chair, gets the real evil smirk as well. I love the evil smirk from Paul Heyman, man. Oh my gosh, we getting heel Paul Heyman back. It's about to be elite. And I ain't got to hear my tribal chief, go get him, my tribal chief, the reigning, defending head of the table, tribal chief Roman. Like, bro, oh my God, bro, that was probably like the worst part of the whole Bloodline storyline, having to hear that man say about 50,000 things and say tribal chief every single 5 seconds. Ugh, it was so annoying. But I really am excited for Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. I want this to go on for a year. I wanted it to be short, but I want this to go on for a year, or at least however long Seth Rollins does hold that World Heavyweight title, because he is eventually going to get it from Jay. I don't think Jay's going to have a long reign by any means. Probably gets a few matches, maybe one against Carmelo Hayes, one against Jimmy Uso, one against maybe Drew McIntyre, and then probably gets I would assume Drew McIntyre would be at Money in the Bank, and then Seth Rollins does win Money in the Bank and probably cashes in on Jey Uso at some point in time, whether it is that same night or it is another night. And I think we get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam in the night 2 main event. I'm assuming we'll probably also get Cody versus Cena night 1 main event as well. But I'm gonna be real with you, can we just never get that in the main event ever again? We'll talk about that in a minute, though, man. We're almost there. Don't worry, baby. We are almost there. Overall, though, I would give this match a 4.5 out of 5, and I would give the overall night about a 3 out of 5. It had its moments. It definitely had a really slow start, in my opinion, but like those last 3 matches, the El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, the Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, and the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, definitely picked the night up, even if like the Tiffany and Charlotte match is a pretty average match, a little better than average if you want to say that. Overall, about a 3 out of 5, though.